Welcome back to another episode of the Ian Fritts Show. Thank you so much for joining. We have a huge show today. A lot happened in week 10 of college football. You see it above me. That's where we're starting. If you don't know the drill, it's to my left here. Fumbles, first downs, what if poll, muffins. Fumbles, where I was wrong. I take accountability here at the Ian Fritts Show. I'm not like those other schmucks out there. I take accountability. First downs, where I was right. I also give myself credit because I deserve it. The what if poll, my top 25, the only one that matters. Muffins, stick around to find out. I love muffins. We're just going to start right here. Texas A&M, South Carolina. Hand up. This was me. I was wrong. I talk about it every week. Where I was wrong, this was one of them. And that's where we're going to start. Look, the line was 3.5, 3, whatever it was, 2.5 for Texas A&M. And I have to be honest. I always talk about go with the gut. Stick with the gut. No matter what, you've got to go with the gut. Always, always, always. And initially, I thought the gut said, boom, South Carolina. And you're thinking, well, why is this in the fumbles? Why is this incorrect, Ian? You were right. I was wrong. I changed my gut. And I tell you each week, the gut cannot change. And the gut never changed. It was always on South Carolina. But sometimes the mind here, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes the mind overpowers the gut and it convinces you, no, the gut's wrong. But the gut is never wrong, folks. The gut is never wrong. And I should have stuck with the gut, and that's on me. I tell you guys each week, stick with the gut, and I went against, I did the cardinal sin for the Ian Fritts Show. You cannot go against the gut, and I went against it, and it bit me in the butt here. As you can see, South Carolina won this game by 24 points. They won by 24. Now, what happened? How did we get here? Well, we got here because, quite frankly, South Carolina overpowered Texas A&M on all facets of the game. Every single facet of this game, South Carolina overpowered Texas A&M from the jump. They went up 14-0, and you thought, well, here we go. It's going to be a blowout. And then Texas A&M battled back, got it up to 20-20 at halftime. You thought, we have an instant classic on our hands, ladies and gentlemen, in Columbia, South Carolina. This is going to be an all-time game. And then the second half happened, and we thought, well, maybe not. This is not an instant classic. It's an instant classic if you're a South Carolina fan, if you're a Shane Beamer fan, which we'll get into in a second, but not an instant classic if you're talking about instant classic college football games. This was not it. The second half was pure domination from South Carolina. 0 points given up by their defense, and their defense, ladies and gentlemen, and let me preface this. I think something about all black uniforms, the team just automatically performs like 3 or 4 notches above where they should. And that's what happened with South Carolina last night. And we learned a lot about Texas A&M, but this game was about South Carolina and Shane Beamer, okay? South Carolina all year, they've been this close. They were 1 play away from beating LSU, and we know LSU stepped it up the last few weeks, except for the loss against A&M. They're a good football team. They were 1 play away against Alabama. How good is Alabama? Nobody really knows. But they're 2 plays away from being 7-1. From being 7-1 with the schedule they have. That is impressive. They finally got the win, the big win that they needed this year. They've had countless opportunities, and they've come up just short. And they got it done yesterday. What does this mean for the program? Shane Beamer's your guy, ladies and gentlemen. The amount of talent on this football team is astounding to me. You would think South Carolina, they don't have enough talent. They're not going to hang with the big dogs. They're not going to get it done. Lo and behold, South Carolina, there's dudes flying around at every level of this football team. Offensive line, still a little bit of an issue, but they, coaching-wise, know how to work around that right now. And they did it to perfection against Texas A&M last night. Now, Texas A&M. Well, I don't know what's happening with you guys right now. Quarterback is an issue. And I was touting Marcel Reed. I thought he was going to be the guy. He was the guy. And I thought he was going to get it done against South Carolina. He didn't get anything done, quite frankly. It's an issue. They don't throw the ball really well with him out there. They run it okay, but they were getting manhandled up front. It was not a good game from Texas A&M, specifically the second half. I know the first half happened, but the second half is hard to forget. Look, I still think they're a good football team. It was always going to be a letdown spot. I just didn't trust the gut, and it was this close to being in the first down section. We're going to move right along. Congrats, South Carolina. Really good football team that's 2 plays away from being 7-1 and a top 10 ranked football team. That's how close they are. Next game up. Here, look, I just was dead wrong on this one. There was no coming back from this one. Just wasn't even close from the get-go. They were up 7-3 after the first quarter, if you can see above me. Clemson, Louisville. And look, I don't know what else to say besides I was wrong. It was it was a horrible effort from Clemson after that first quarter. And even in the first quarter, you're thinking, this is the team that Ian was touting as a top 10 football team? And look, hand up, both hands up. You got me. I was wrong. And I'm okay with being wrong sometimes. I don't love it, but I'm okay with it. I come to terms with it. And I'm coming to terms with Clemson right now. I don't know how good they are. They're not very good. They just lost in their own building. This is a stat, ladies and gentlemen. Clemson hadn't lost a night game at home in 8 or 9 years. I think 2015 was the last one, so that's 9 years ago. They hadn't lost a home game in Death Valley at Clemson in 9 years. And they just got, I was about to say boat raced. They didn't get boat raced, but it was close to a boat racing, okay? I mean, Louisville, other than that fourth quarter where they let up a little bit, it was not a good showing from Clemson, ladies and gentlemen. And look, I could talk about Louisville, but look, they're 6-3. I'm not going to be touting Louisville after this game. They got a solid win here, but they're not playoff contender or anything like that. Clemson, the door is still open. You don't control your own destiny now. However, SMU is now in that spot. So look, Dabo, he's got to get it figured out. They threw the ball 56 times, quite frankly, because they were down so much, and they ran the ball like a million times as well. A lot of offensive plays that didn't do much. Okay, so if I'm a Clemson fan, I'm a little concerned coming down the stretch here. You got some tough games, not against super superior opponents or anything, but you got to play South Carolina at the end of the year. And right now, I wouldn't want to play South Carolina if I was a Clemson fan. So watch out for that. I'm disappointed in the Clemson Tigers. Hand up, I was wrong. That's on me. I'll do better. Another game where I was wrong. And look, this one, this is my takeaway from this game. Look, I thought Penn State would cover. I thought they would be a little better. Now, I was under the assumption Bo Perbula was going to play this game. And I got some bad information. Nobody gave me any information. I just made that up. And I think if Bo Perbula starts this game, look, you can call me crazy. I think they win the football game if Bo Perbula is the guy. Do they? We don't know. He didn't play. Doesn't really matter. Ohio State gets it done. James Franklin continues to stink against Ohio State, and he's never going to get it done. Look, they're going to be a top 15 program under James Franklin every year because they have the talent, and they win all the games they should win, and then they lose the games they should lose based on the odds. And that's Penn State. You know what you're going to get. They still may make the playoffs, even though they haven't beat anybody, and the teams they have beat, they've barely beat. I'm not impressed with Penn State. On the other hand, and that lead-in would make you think, oh, he's about to say he's really impressed with Ohio State. No, I'm not. We watched, and I know some people are saying, I don't know why we were worried about Ohio State. They went in and got it done against the Nittany Lions. These two teams are mediocre, ladies and gentlemen. Ohio State and Penn State, these aren't college football national championship contenders. They're not, especially with the way they're playing right now. Neither of these teams could win a national championship. I firmly believe that. And you may call me crazy. You may call me crazy, but I'm not crazy. I just call it like it is. I say it like it is, and I tell you how I see it, and I see it very clearly. Ohio State's not a national championship contender, not the way they're playing right now. Will Howard's not a national championship caliber quarterback. This Ohio State team is not going to win a national championship, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to happen. They could get there because they have the talent, but right now, the way they're playing, this is not it. This is not it, okay? I was wrong. Thought Penn State would cover and win. They didn't. Ohio State, I'm still not impressed. Now, let's get into some first downs where I was right. I'm just going to let it sit up there for a second. I'm going to relish in this because I saw this coming from about 3,000 miles away. That's how obvious this one was to me. I don't know. This line was 7. Some people thought Michigan State, they had a chance to win this football game. And I'm thinking, have you guys watched Michigan State play football this year? Because I have. Ian Fritts has, because he watches the football games. He watches the football games. And by he, I mean I. I watch the football games. I see what happens, and I tell you how it is, okay? Sometimes I'm wrong, but this one, Indiana, I have them figured out, ladies and gentlemen. I have Indiana figured out, and I said, This, I don't even know how this is 7 points. Okay, this line makes no sense. They won by 37. It was an absolute shellacking. And get accustomed to that word shellacking because that's what Indiana is doing to every single opponent they face. Now, the obvious objection to that is, Ian, they haven't played anybody worth anything. And to that, I say, you are correct, sir. You or woman, sir, ma'am. Well, whatever the opposite, ma'am is the opposite of sir, not sir, ma'am. I tell you, you're right. You're right. They haven't played anybody worth anything. However, I watch them play football and I think they're a really good football team. They deserve all the praise they get and don't get because some people are still like, they're not playing anybody. I'm not putting them in the top 10. You know who hadn't played anybody and you were putting them in the top 3? Penn State. Penn State. And I was there. I was with you because I was thinking, well, I don't know what to do with them. They continue to win. Might as well put them there. And that's on me. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm putting teams where they should be. Okay? I'm not enough of this. I guess I'll put them there because they have to be there. Enough of that. Indiana is a top 2 football team in the country right now. You heard that correct, ladies and gentlemen. I love the Hoosiers. They are Washington of last year. Now, if you remember Washington, high-powered offense, productive, opportunistic defense. That's the Indiana Hoosiers, and they continually got undervalued last year. The Washington Huskies did, and you know what? Do you know where that got them? The national championship game. Could the Indiana Hoosiers make the national championship game? We'll see. They play Ohio State in 2 weeks. I want to be there. If any of you guys can make that happen, let me know. Another one I was right about. SMU. Look, Pitt came into this game undefeated, and it was very quickly obvious that SMU is a much better football team than Pitt. And this is the SMU that I touted in the preseason as ACC caliber, championship caliber type of a football team. They struggled early in the year with Preston Stone as their quarterback. They found something with Jennings. I've said it the past 3 weeks. You don't want to play SMU right now. You don't want to play them. Good defense, super good offense. Watch out for the SMU Mustangs. We're all over them at the Ian Fritts Show. We knew this was going to happen in the preseason. We saw it from the very beginning. Next one I got right. Florida, Georgia. In this score, if you didn't watch this football game, this score may confuse some people. And you're thinking, Florida, Georgia, it's a 14-point win. Why is he talking about this game? Well, I have to talk about this game because it was 20-20 with 6-7 minutes left in this football game. With Florida having their third string Yale walk-on quarterback. They were down their starting running back. They were down their number 1 wide receiver. They were down their number 1 defensive back. They were down 2 other starters on the defensive back side. And they were tied with Georgia, the number 2 team in the country, with 5 minutes left in the football game. Yeah, my takeaway from this is I touted Florida coming into this game. I thought they were a solid football team. And my main takeaway from this is sucks for Florida. Their season's basically over, losing all of those players with the gauntlet they have coming up. I don't see how they get it done with the offense they put on the field after DJ Lagway went down. It's going to be really, really hard for Florida to get anything going offensively. On the other side, Georgia, Carson Beck, this guy is seeing 25 ghosts every single play offensively. He sees more ghosts than people that claim they see ghosts. And if you ever known somebody that claims they see ghosts, man, it's like every day. Boom, ghost. Carson Beck is like overwhelmed by ghosts. The amount of interceptions he's throwing right now. It is absurd. I'm worried if I'm a Georgia fan. I'm worried. And you're thinking, worried? Ian, they won by 14. I know. With the way that happened, now, second half happened. They outscored them 21 points. I get it. That's what they needed to do in the first half, okay? Look, hand up, Georgia. I'm a little bit worried right now. You have to go to Ole Miss next week. That's going to be a fun one. What if poll, ladies and gentlemen? Going to take a sip here. That's a nice little mug. Let me know if you want one. Going to take a sip here. There's nothing in here. I forgot to get water. So I was going to take a fake sip. Not going to because there's nothing in there. What if poll? Look, a lot of movement in the what if poll. This says week 8. This should say week 11. That's on me, ladies and gentlemen. My bad. So ignore that. But pay attention to the teams. Number 25, Pitt. They only have 1 loss. I'm going to give them credit for that. Now, the 1 loss was an absolute boat racing. So I'm okay if they're not in the top 25. Number 24, Kansas State. Bleh. You lose to Houston? What are you doing? Horrible. Iowa State. Bleh. Texas Tech at home off of a bye, and you folded on the last drive of the game. Absolutely folded in half. I expected more, Matt Campbell. Hand up, I expected more. 22, Washington State didn't play. You move up. You move up if you don't play, ladies and gentlemen. Number 21, South Carolina. You're thinking, Ian, they have 3 losses in their number 21 in the country. What are you doing? What I am doing is correct. Calm down. Number 20 team in the country, Vanderbilt, also have 3 losses. Watch them play football. You are impressed. 19 team in the country, Colorado Buffaloes. Hand up, both hands up. This might be the biggest winner of the weekend. Iowa State and Kansas State lose. The Colorado Buffaloes, hear this correctly, ladies and gentlemen, they now control their own destiny. What does control your own destiny mean? If they win out, they are in the college football playoff, ladies and gentlemen. They are in the college football playoff. Some of you may hate that. Some of you may love that. I hate it. I'm not a Deion fan. Now, I love it for the sport of college football. Hate it because I was a hater. And when you're a hater and you're wrong, that stinks. So that stinks for me. But I love it for college football because it's going to be a spectacle if Deion Sanders is in the college football playoff. Number 18 team in the country. Army, support the troops. They keep moving up. They play Notre Dame. Is that this weekend? Or is that next weekend? They play Notre Dame in one of the next 2 weeks. And we saw what Notre Dame did with the other service academy, Navy. Maybe that's because Navy should be in the ocean. I'm not sure. But Army, they live on the ground. Hopefully, they can do that against Notre Dame because, hey, I'm openly supporting the troops. And sue me. Sue me. Don't, actually. I don't want to be sued. Clemson, 17 team in the country. I'd be okay if they're not in the top 25. I said it there. And you're thinking, Ian, how are they 17? Well, they're 17. Calm down. Ole Miss. Look, I wanted to move Ole Miss up higher, and then I looked at the teams in front of them, and I thought, they lost to this team, and that team lost to the other team, so I'll put them at 16. Offense, really, really good. They looked incredible yesterday against Arkansas. Arkansas, I think they've given up. 15 team in the country. The LSU Tigers, their season is on the line against Alabama this weekend. We will talk about it in the preview show. Team in front of them, Texas A&M Aggies. They got absolutely shellacked against South Carolina. Still a solid football team. Their season is still in front of them. If they beat Texas, they're in the SEC championship game, and they can make the college football playoff in year 1 under Mike Elko. Really good season so far. Penn State, look, I wanted to drop Penn State out of the top 100, okay? I don't think they're a very good football team, but they have 1 loss, so we're going to put them at 13. Boise State, their 1 loss, 3 points against the number 1 team in the country, and they're destroying everyone else they play. I know they're a group of 5 team. They're easily the favorite to be in the college football playoff right now from a group of 5 perspective. They're awesome. SMU. We are moving SMU up, ladies and gentlemen. They deserve it. 11 team in the country right now. Number 10 team in the country, Alabama Crimson Tide. I may catch a lot of unneeded anger for this. Don't worry about it. They're the number 10 team in the country. Number 9 team in the country, Tennessee Volunteers. They have 1 loss. It was to Arkansas. Arkansas's given up. Do with that what you will. Offense, still not getting it done. However, the defense has not allowed over 20 points this year. That's worth something, ladies and gentlemen. That is worth something. Number 8 team in the country, Notre Dame, Fighting Irish. Look, they had the 1 slip up this year against Northern Illinois. Ever since then, they've been rocking and rolling. Riley Leonard is playing really good quarterback for Notre Dame right now. They're number 8, and if they win out, now I keep saying if they win out, they're in the college football playoff. Yeah, they are. As much as some of you would hate that, it's reality. It is reality, and snap back to reality. That's a rap song. I'm pretty sure I may have butchered that, but is that by Eminem? Comment down below. Let me know. BYU Cougars. They didn't play last week. They're undefeated still. They have a win against the number 11 team in the country in SMU. I'm not sure if they're for real, but I have them at number 7 because I think they are for real. And you watch them play football, it's a well-coached group of players out there in Utah, and I like what they're doing. I like the Cougars, okay? Number 6 team in the country, Ohio State Buckeyes. and they're probably going to be the number 2 team in the country in the AP poll and whatever. Who gives a crap? Okay, quite frankly, because they're not a very good football team right now. I'm saying it week in, week out. They're not a very good football team. Number 5 team in the country, Miami Hurricanes. The U. Look, 9 minutes left, or at the beginning of the fourth quarter, Duke was driving. They were down by 4. They had the ball at the 5-yard line. And we thought, hey, they're going to get upset. The Miami Hurricanes are. And then from the absolute depths of the ocean, Miami scores about 300 points in the fourth quarter, and they cover the game. Thank you. That's awesome because we had Miami. That was a good pick for us. It wasn't because it looked like a not a cover the entire way. But Cam Ward, just an electric factory all day, every day, just continues to make plays. The offense, unreal. Defense, it's bad. It's bad. It is really, really bad. And it's going to bite them. It is going to bite them at some point this year. Now, I keep saying that, and it doesn't keep happening. So maybe it doesn't happen, but I think it will. Number 4 team in the country, Texas Longhorns. Didn't play this week. They play again this weekend. So Texas, number 4 team in the country. Number 3 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs. Yeah, I bumped them down. I have no shame in that because I think the Indiana Hoosiers are the number 2 team in the country right now. And some of you, again, you're going to say, Ian, they haven't played anybody. And I will keep on saying, I do not care. I do not care, ladies and gentlemen. They are playing some of the best football I've seen this year. Every week, week in and week out, they continue to do it. And I continue to say they're a really good football team. Well coached, super good players, offense, high powered, throw the ball down the field, let your good wide receivers go up and get the football. They're Washington of last year, ladies and gentlemen. That is the Indiana Hoosiers. Number 1 team in the country, Oregon Ducks. Look, went into Michigan, beat them down. They continue to be really good. They were my preseason national championship contender or national championship pick. And right now, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. A lot of the preseason takes I had this year were really good. Now, some of them not so good, but we won't mention those. That's the what if poll for week 11, ladies and gentlemen. Now, if you remembered earlier, muffins. And some of you are thinking, Ian, what is a muffin? This date is incorrect down here in the bottom right. Forgive me. Muffins are, we pick a coach, a player, a unit on a team, a fan base each week where they had an exceptional performance in a big time football game, and we certify them with our stamp here at the Ian Fritts Show as a certified stud muffin. You can be a stud muffin. To be a stud muffin, you have an exceptional performance in just any game, okay? But to be a certified stud muffin, you have to do it in a big time football game. And ladies and gentlemen, blurry photo of Shane Beamer right here. But this guy put on a clinic yesterday, and he also put on a clinic in the post game in the locker room, singing this song to his wife because it was her birthday. Absolute electric factory in Columbia, South Carolina right now. Watch out for the Gamecocks. They have to go play Vanderbilt this weekend. Sneaky game of the weekend? Sneaky game of the weekend? I think so. However, this weekend is an absolutely loaded slate. I say it every week. It's a loaded slate every week. College football has been good to us this year, ladies and gentlemen. Congrats to Shane Beamer being the second coach this year to get a certified stud muffin award. The other one being Steve Sarkisian. Shane Beamer deserves it. South Carolina is a good football team, ladies and gentlemen. So congrats to Shane Beamer, certified stud muffin. You deserve it. We all deserve it. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. If you wouldn't mind, subscribe down below. Grab your wife's phone, your cousin's phone, your aunt's phone, your uncle's phone, your grandma's phone. Subscribe on their YouTube account as well. If they don't have a YouTube account, create one. Create 5. Subscribe on all 5. I don't care. Comment down below. Ian, you're awesome. And I will respond. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. Stay tuned for the preview show this week. It will be fun. Probably will come out Wednesday because I will wait until the college football playoff rankings come out on Tuesday night. The important thing happening on Tuesday as well. Nothing else in this country is happening on Tuesday. So thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the preview show. I love you guys. Bye.
Oh, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game.
45, 40, 45, 50, 45. There goes